So a lot seems to have been happening in the palace of Oni of Ife right now. Yes, a lot seems to be happening as in as much as everybody out there is preparing for Valentine's Day. Ashley is actually being hospitalized, and the hospital where she is actually adding a lot of salt into injury, as the Oni himself is really not too excited about what is happening at the palace of Oni of Ife. Yes, he's not really excited because whereas he's supposed to be excited, he's supposed to be happy, instead of him having all of that, he's now in the hospital. Now, Ashley has actually made the Oni to summon everybody and is asking them who is responsible for Ashley's hospitalization, because there is so much security in the hospital, in the house. So if there's so much security in the house, how in God's name did Naomi, how in God's name did Ashley now suffer from food poisoning? Because this food poisoning is something that is a very serious thing, So how in God's name did this happen? So after more interrogation and interrogation, it was now discovered through the CCTV camera that the person who actually caused this problem is not even far from the palace. Guess what? The person who caused this problem is none other but Ashley herself. Ashley herself was the person who perpetrated this ugly act. And he perpetrated this act because she felt that the Oni was not giving her so much attention. So, since she's not getting the attention she needs from the Oni, she now decided to poison herself. This actually broke a lot of people's hearts because they could not really understand why someone would want to do this kind of act to her own self, having into consideration that the palace has been suffering from a whole lot of calamities. There have been so much issues, so much problems, different things that have actually transpired and happened in the palace that nobody can comprehend and nobody can understand. So for this issue to come up to this level right now like this, it actually beats the imagination of the Oni to know and feel that of a truth he has or needs to do something very, very disastrous and very, very serious. He has to do something serious because if Ashley can have the mind to actually harm her own self, all because she's seeking for attention, then have you sat down to imagine what she could do to someone else? That is actually the serious bone of contention, because people have been trying to see how they can understand what exactly is happening. And trust me, the more they try to understand what's happening, the more difficult it gets for them. And now it has now gotten to the time and level where a fellow woman can actually inflict pains on her own very self. Now, what Ashley is inherently trying to do is to make Oni not to have the good time he has promised Naomi tomorrow. Because from the look of things, tomorrow is supposed to be for Naomi and the Olori, the Oni. Oni has already told them that tomorrow is going to be a time he wants to spend with his wife. So, if now that he has made up his mind to have this good time with Naomi, and incidentally now this kind of thing now happens, so what exactly are you expecting the Oni to do? Because how would the Oni now feel wanting to go out when, as a matter of fact, his wife is in the hospital, you cannot agree with me that he will not have the mind to go out the way normally he's supposed to go out. Because someone is sick. You cannot allow someone that is sick in the hospital and you now say you're going for a Valentine party. And that is exactly what um, Ashley wants to achieve, because she knows that she's going to be abandoned, and when they abandon her, she will now become irrelevant. But I think that harming herself is actually not the best way to go about this thing. I think they are actually getting it wrong. The best thing that she was supposed to do is just to calm down and look for better means of getting the Oni to be with her. Because whether we like it or yes, the Oni on his own actually needs people to have better understanding of what is happening in the palace, you know. Now, when these things cannot inherently be allowed to take place, then definitely there is going to be a lot of backlashing. There's going to be a lot of backlashing because right now the Oni has actually given an ultimatum that Ashley should be guided and protected so that she does not do any bodily harm on herself. And a lot of people still don't get the picture that in as much as Ashley is now trying to somehow get a little bit suicidal, she needs maximum protection and care. So people in the palace are having different kinds of understanding. You know, their understanding level is different from time to time. You know, everybody cannot um, think the same, while others are thinking right, some are thinking left. And if they continually push the frontiers the way they are doing it, then at the end of the day, things will not logically fall in place the way they should. So, my people, this is the story I decided to bring. That the person who caused her own problem in the palace, you know, to be hospitalized is none other but Ashley. All right, people. I still remain your brother D&Z TV, and I'll be coming with more information as time goes. Thank you, and see you some other time. Bye bye.